Alright, here we go folks, Rarevid's back again obviously. Now this time, something I wanted to cover for a while actually. So what we're doing now is Australian CBS Fox tapes. Now CBS Fox is obviously a massive label like Roadshow was. And they put out a lot of stuff. Now the original CBS Fox releases were predominantly all these small box releases. And these are very early tapes. You know, I'm talking 1982, 1983, somewhere around there. And this is actually quite a good film, this one, Damnation Alley, with George Peppard, who was the grey-haired old guy from the A-Team, and Jan Michael Vincent from Airwolf, the mechanic, and various other things. And it's quite a good film. It's a post-apoc film, very overlooked, and I do recommend it. It's a good one. The original Nosferatu, I must admit I have never actually sat there and watched that tape. Now from memory that's like a film from the 1920s or something like that. And as you can see it is extremely in poor condition, but that's a very early tape. Pretty Poison with Anthony Perkins. I'm told it's actually quite a good film, but I've got to be honest, I've had that thing for probably 15 years and I've never actually sat down and watched it. So yeah, as I say, the early CBS releases were all in these small boxes. Now one I can absolutely massively recommend, I'm guessing probably most of you have seen this, with Peter Fonda and the mighty Warren Oates, Race with the Devil. Now this is fantastic. It reminded me a lot of Devil's Reign and Brotherhood of Satan. It's that kind of film. Absolutely fucking astounding. Monster Island with Peter Cushing. I've never actually watched that one as well. As you can see, it looks like a rubber monster type 80s creature feature scenario. But I will get round to it at some point. Alright, now, I'm a big fan of the Maniac Cop films. And CBS Fox did put out Maniac Cop 1, as you can see, as a foil release. And from memory, the UK got a very similar foil release. I could be wrong. Now, CBS also put out Part 2 as well, but when Part 3 came around, it was some other, I can't remember who put it out, but it was some other label that took it over. Another one here, folks, that really gets overlooked with Scott Glenn, The Challenge, and it's absolutely amazing. It's a samurai slash ninja film from 1982, and I'm pretty sure most of you guys watching this would absolutely love it. As you can see, the artwork alone is fantastic. Now there is a Blu-ray these days, and I can honestly recommend this to all of you folks. Now another one that never gets brought up, Gold Raiders. This is a jungle actioner with Robert Ginty. It's absolutely amazing. I have talked about it on other films, but I did throw it in this mix as well because it is a CBS Fox tape. It's actually very violent, very bloody, and very recommended. No disc release again, sadly. Night of the Sharks is a good one. Now, Treat Williams is in this, and Antonio Fargas, who was in Starsky and Hutch. And it does get bagged out a lot. John Steiner's in this as well, who was a regular in like a million fucking Italian films. The artwork on that alone is fantastic. As you can see, it's a sharksploitation film. Just don't take it seriously. It's just a fun film. I actually quite dig that one. Now, an anthology film, same vein as Creepshow. I can't remember how many stories were on that. There was quite a few. I do recall that film was actually quite good and the stories were quite well done. I have had a few people sort of bag it out over the years, but personally I recall that one as being pretty good, but it's been some time, folks. Night of the Comet, another one I enjoy a lot. Again, CBS Fox, Magnificence. I mean, they did, as I say, they put out a lot of stuff. They had fantastic boxes, you know, embossed inside and such, you know. I just dig them. I really dig CBS Fox stuff. Now, as everyone knows, I'm a massive fan of Cirio Santiago and Filipino action films. And this is absolutely fucking amazing. As you can see, this film has the most ridiculous firearm ever put to cinema, ever in history. I do recommend it. It's got, as you can see, Richard Norton on the cover there. Absolutely fucking entertaining plus. Alright, now, here's one that's very rarely seen as well. Tiger Joe. I honestly love the design on this. It's actually an Antonio Margheriti jungle actioner. Of course, Antonio did the amazing Cannibal Apocalypse. Now, David Warbeck's in this one as well. I wouldn't say it's fantastic, but it's definitely worth your while. Fernando Boldi's Warbus. You know, as you can see, the design on this is amazing. Now, this film is essentially, well, I would personally say anyway, another version of John Woo's Heroes Shed No Tears. From memory, this came after the John Woo film, but it's very similar, and it is a good one. Alright, another favourite of mine, guys, Pieces, absolutely amazing. Fucking Spanish slasher, very amusing, with the most ridiculous horror movie ending I've probably ever seen in my whole life. No doubt, again, you know, all you guys watching this would have seen this film. Massively recommended. I would recommend the Grindhouse Blu-ray when tracking that one down. Now, Sergio Martino Light Blast with Eric Estrada. Absolutely amazing. CBS Fox again, of course. Very entertaining. Very brainless. It's one of those that fall into the category that I term a beer and pizza film, and that's what that is. Just brainless fun. And it is a lot of fun. Another Antonio Margheriti film, Indio. Now, it actually sounds quite crappy from the blurb here, Environmental Warrior, but it's honestly quite a great film. It's obviously another Rambo ripoff, and it even has Brian Dennehy in it as well, but it's very, very entertaining. Very violent action, pretty much start to end. I do recommend it. Sadly, as far as I know, no disc release. Now, this one is amazing, an 80s slasher with Michael Ironside, and I would have to say it's probably Michael Ironside's most ferocious role. He is an absolute fucking maniac in this. So much so that my wife is terrified of this film. We watched it once together, and if I even talk about the film, she goes nuts. Yeah, it's pretty full-on stuff for its time. Another one you never hear about, Jackals. It's one of those corrupt cop films. Sorry, guys. Very recommended. Yeah, as I say, it's not talked about much, but it is quite interesting, that one. Iced, another slasher that I got to admit, guys, I still haven't watched this. It's quite rare, this CBS Fox tape, that one there. Paratrooper's a good one too. Joe D'Alessandro's in this one. Quite action-packed, quite well done. I guess somewhat similar in some ways. I guess the Sniper, you know what I mean. It's that sort of film. It is R-rated. Probably, I wouldn't warrant it an R-rated. I would probably give it an M, but it's quite a good film. Alright, Death Warmed Up. As a lot of you guys know, the Australian tape was actually cut. It's a New Zealand production. It's not bad. I mean, it's not as good as everyone sort of used to make out the film was. It is rated R. Again, I don't really think that it should have an R-rated classification on it. But, you know, it's still worth a look. As I say, it is missing footage, though. White Phantom. I remember this one being a bit ho-hum. It is quite a rare tape. Now, as for disc releases and such, I don't really recall. From memory, it was a bit of a knockoff of Enter the Ninja with Franco Nero. It was that kind of film, but it was nowhere near as good. More Antonio Margheriti films. Now, yeah, again, I remember that one was quite crappy. Now, Martin Landau's in that. It was another one of those sci-fi rip-offs, a bit like Star Crash that Luigi Cozzi did, that sort of thing, but not the greatest. But I thought I'd throw it in the mix because it's actually quite a rare tape, that one. Alright, now, the last one for this one is the Abyss. As you can see, CBS Fox big box. Now it's one of the novelty cases. I'm not the biggest fan of this film, but I really dig the case and the way it folds out. It's quite unique, as you can see, you know, compared to other novelty cases and such, so that's why I threw it in with this one. Alright, that's it folks for part 1. We will kick on with some more next time with part 2. Probably be about the same amount of tapes, about another 25, 26 or so titles to showcase next time. Okay, thanks for watching people.